Watch how I take this Valentine sign from the Dollar Tree and turn it into something perfectly imperfect. The materials that I used for this project was the Valentine's Love Each Moment sign, Waverly chalk paint in plaster, and the antique wax in brown. I also used 3 of these Greenery bouquets. The first thing that I did was take the tag off the sign and then turned it over because it is actually the backside that I'd be using. I simply peeled the sticker off with no problem. Then at the top, I took the tabs of the sign string and simply removed them by poking them through the holes at the top. Next, I painted the whole sign on the back using the Waverly chalk paint and plaster. Notice how I am not making an even coat of it at all. In fact, I like the texture of the paintbrush with this chalk paint. It makes it look even more like real wood. Next, I used a wash of the antique wax from Waverly, and because it is very dark, I just dabbed my paintbrush in and then took a paper towel and then dabbed some of the excess off before I swiped it on the sign. So I started at the corners, swiping from the outward inward, and again, this just gives it a really nice wood grain effect. If you've never worked with this antique wax from Waverly before, it is an actual wax, and if you rub it between your fingers, you will know the difference between that wax and paint. I then took my perfectly imperfect sign, which I had created on Microsoft Word, and then printed it off of my computer. I have this file ready for you in the description down below if you care to use it. So I simply put the printout over the sign, and using the crosshatch motion with my pencil on the back side of the printout, I began just tracing back and forth with my pencil until the entire word that I wanted was completely scribbled. This is a great alternative for those of you who don't have a Cricut or a vinyl cutting machine. I then flipped the paper over and began tracing out the words. And when I was finished, this is what it looked like. For this project, I used my Sharpie marker instead of a paintbrush because it had a finer tip on it and I really wanted to outline the words really well. So this is what it looked like while I was outlining each of the words, and then simply took my Sharpie and colored it all in. When I was finished filling in all the words with my Sharpie, I then took the eraser on my pencil and erased any of the pencil lines that might have been left over. Now onto the flower phase. I took the bouquets and I cut off each stem and began just arranging them around the sign to decide how I wanted to lay them out. Once I had the design that I really liked, I simply took my hot glue and in little tiny dabs began gluing each of the leaves and flower stems around the sign. And this is how it turned out. Finally, I took the string that the original sign came with, stuck them back through the holes, and got it ready to hang up. And this is what it looks like in the end. I am so happy with the way this turned out. I hope that you enjoyed this project. And if you did, then give me a big thumbs up, subscribe, click the bell icon, and give me a comment on what exactly you liked about this project. Thanks so much for watching. Until I see you again, bye!